This happened 2 years ago. I was 22 at the time, and 3 of us rented a small cabin for the weekend in northern Arkansas. It wasn't completely off-grid, but it was isolated enough that you couldn't see another house from the property. It was me, my friend Caleb, and his cousin Ryan. The cabin sat at the end of a long gravel driveway that cut through trees for almost half a mile. No street lights, no close neighbors, just woods. We got there late Friday evening around 7:30. By the time we unloaded everything, it was already getting dark. The place itself was small. 1 main room, 2 bedrooms, a bathroom, and a back porch that faced straight into the tree line. It felt peaceful at first, quiet in a way you don't get in town. That night, we stayed up late playing cards at the kitchen table. Around 1 a.m., Ryan said he was going outside to make a quick phone call because the reception inside was bad. He stepped out onto the back porch. The porch light was on. We could see him through the window. He paced back and forth while talking. Then he stopped walking. He stood still, just listening. Caleb noticed first. "Why did he stop moving?" he said. I looked over. Ryan wasn't on the phone anymore. He was holding it down by his side. He slowly turned his head toward the trees. Then he stepped backward toward the door. Caleb stood up and opened it. "What?" he asked. Ryan came inside quickly and shut the door behind him. "There's someone out there," he said. We both kind of laughed at first. "Like a deer?" I asked. "No," he said. "I heard footsteps." We went quiet. The woods were dark. The porch light only lit up a small area before everything faded into black. We all stepped onto the porch together. At first, I didn't hear anything, just the wind moving through the trees. Then I heard it. A single crunch, like someone stepping on dry leaves. It wasn't close, maybe 30 or 40 feet out, but it was heavy. Too heavy to be a small animal. We all stood there staring into the trees. Another crunch. Then, nothing. Caleb whispered, "Probably just a deer." That made sense. It had to be wildlife. We stayed outside another minute or so. No more sounds. Eventually, we went back in and locked the door, but none of us really relaxed after that. Around 2:15 a.m., we turned off the lights and went to bed. I took the small bedroom near the front of the cabin. Caleb and Ryan shared the other room. I don't know what time I woke up, but I remember what woke me. Gravel. The sound of gravel shifting. Like someone walking on the driveway. Slow steps. Not running, just walking. I sat up immediately. The driveway was on the opposite side of the cabin from the porch. Nobody should have been out there. We hadn't seen any cars come down that road all night. I stayed still, listening. Another step. Crunch. Then another. I got out of bed quietly and opened my bedroom door. The cabin was dark. I could see a faint glow from the clock in the kitchen. Then I heard it again. This time closer, near the side of the cabin. I walked toward Caleb's room and knocked lightly. He opened it almost instantly. "You hear that?" he whispered. I nodded. Ryan was already sitting up. We didn't turn on any lights. We just stood there, listening. The footsteps moved along the side of the cabin. Slow. Measured. Then they stopped. Right outside. There was a small window in the living room that faced the driveway. Caleb moved toward it carefully and lifted the corner of the curtain just a little. He froze. I could see it in his shoulders. "What?" I whispered. He didn't answer right away. Then he said quietly, "There's a truck." None of us heard an engine. No headlights had come through the windows. I stepped closer and looked through the curtain myself. About 50 feet down the driveway was an old pickup truck. Lights off, engine off, just sitting there. Driver's side door was open. I couldn't see anyone inside or around it. Ryan whispered, "Call someone." Caleb grabbed his phone. No service. I checked mine. Nothing. The cabin Wi-Fi barely worked. We were completely cut off. The footsteps started again. This time on a porch. Slow steps across wood, then a pause. Someone was standing right outside the back door. The handle didn't move. No knocking, just presence. I don't know how long we stood there like that. Maybe 30 seconds? Maybe longer. It felt stretched. Then the footsteps moved off the porch, back into the gravel, then back toward the truck. We watched through the curtain. A figure came into view briefly. Tall, wearing a dark hoodie. He walked to the driver's side, got in, closed the door. The truck started. Headlights came on suddenly, blinding us through the window. Then it reversed slowly, turned around, and drove back down the long gravel driveway. We didn't sleep the rest of the night. At sunrise, we went outside. There were tire tracks, fresh. Footprints near the porch, large, adult, leading up to the back door and stopping right there. We packed up by 9 a.m. and left. When Caleb contacted the cabin owner later, he said no one else had rented nearby properties that weekend. No maintenance scheduled, no expected visitors. To this day, I don't know why someone would drive half a mile down a dark private driveway at 3 in the morning, park with their lights off, walk around the cabin quietly, and leave without saying a word. But I still think about one thing. The truck door was already open when we first saw it, which means whoever was outside had been walking around the cabin long before we woke up.